Hey everybody, it's Chris with SirLinksalot, and today we're going to be going over how to analyze a site in Ahrefs, plus a few extra tips and tricks. Whether it's for yourself, a client site, or you're reverse engineering the competition, learning how to analyze sites is one of the most important skills you can learn to do for SEO, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can do it yourself. Like always, if you would rather read than watch the video, you can find the full transcript for this video on our website along with all of our other learning resources and SEO products. Alright, so before we go ahead and dive into everything, there are some things that you need to keep in mind throughout the course of this video. First of all, this is the way that we do things, and it's obviously not the only way to analyze a site. This is just the way that we do things that's working well for us and that we can show you how to do as well. Next is you have to try to look at the big picture. There's no one metric to rule them all. The way that we go through and analyze sites, we're really looking at many things all at the same time and bringing all of those things together to try to really understand things on a deeper level. Next, to be able to really analyze a site, you really need a pretty good amount of SEO knowledge. So if you're new, don't really stress out too much. Just try to kind of get a feel for what we're doing, and maybe some of this stuff will slowly start to sink in and make a little bit more sense to you. Also, you'll note that a recurring theme through this whole site analysis process is that we are constantly looking for naturalness. If something doesn't look natural, there might be problems. A lot of SEO now and moving forward is going to be trying to make things appear natural. So even if you're doing things that are against Google's terms of service, you need to be doing everything you can to look natural, to blend into everybody else, and just do things better than they do it. So the main takeaway of this video should be how we're using the tools to analyze these sites and why we're using them in the way that we use them. So before we go ahead and jump into Ahrefs, there are some preliminary checks that we always do. First, we check if the site is indexed, we check if the site's penalized, we check the site's history, and we check the age of the site. If the site is indexed, it just means that it's in Google's database to show in the organic search results. If a site is penalized, that means that Google has given you some kind of disciplinary action. And as far as the history goes, we just want to make sure that it doesn't have any kind of nefarious past, it hasn't been spammed. And then we check the age of the site, because older sites tend to react a little bit differently than younger sites. Older sites you can get away with a little bit more as far as link building, and older sites tend to react a little bit quicker. So the site we're going to be looking at today is called dalefamilylaw.com. I don't have any kind of affiliation with this site. I think I just went into Google and typed Houston Family Law and just picked the first organic result. All right, so first, to check if a site is indexed, just go to Google and type in site : and then the website, and you'll see we have 601 results. That means there are 601 pages for this website that are indexed in Google right now. And what this is a Google search operator, and these are pretty useful for doing a wide variety of things with Google. We've actually got a huge list of these things on one of our other blog posts that you can head over to and download if you'd like. That blog post is how to get free backlinks in 2019, and I'll go ahead and leave a link to that in the description of this video. So next up, we want to check to see if the site is penalized. This technique doesn't tell you 100% for sure if the site has a penalty. It's just a cool little trick that I like to do. And what you do is you type in the domain, except you remove the period. So I don't have a dot in between Delane Family Law and com. And so you'll see that the search results for this are showing up with the site that we're trying to find right at the top, which is a very good sign. If there was some kind of penalty, you might not see it until maybe the second page, the third page, the fourth page, or even further beyond than that. Now, if your domain has a bunch of very competitive keywords in it, it's possible that you might show up on the second or third page just because there are a bunch of other sites that are actually beating you out. So like I said, this is not a 100% guaranteed check to see if you have a penalty. You have to take into consideration how competitive the keywords in your domain name actually are. Of course, if you think you have a penalty, it would also be good if the site is hooked up to Google Search Console, but not all sites will be hooked up to Search Console, or you might not have access to it. So this is just a cool little trick that you can try real quick to see if the site has any kind of penalty. So next up is the Wayback Machine. And to get to this, you go to archive.org and you type in the name of the website, and you can see it's bringing up a timeline here where we can go and look at the site's history. So what you want to do is go ahead and just click somewhere in the past. So here we're clicking on 2015, and you can see all these blue dates are when Wayback Machine has taken basically a snapshot of the site, and you can go ahead and click on these dates. And when it loads, it'll show you a snapshot of what the site looked like in that year on that date. And you can see by looking at this that it looks like to be the same company. It looks like a real site. It doesn't look like it was used for anything bad. And if you really wanted to, you could go ahead and you could keep clicking around on all these other years, all these other dates, just trying to look and see if it had any kind of spam or if it was used maybe for a PBN at some point in the past. And lastly, go to whois.com and type in your site to check the age of the site. And you can see right here, this site was registered on, looks like February 11th, 2011. So we're in 2019 now. It's about 8 years old. It's a pretty old site, which is good. All right, so now we're getting to the meat of this video, and we're going to be hopping into Ahrefs to really analyze this site. There are other linking tools you can use to analyze sites. We use Ahrefs because it's the best. If there was one tool that I really, had to have to do SEO, it would be Ahrefs. So when we get into Ahrefs, the first thing that we usually do is to make sure that we are looking at the right version of the site. And what I mean by that is we're going to look and see which version, the www version or the non-www version, have more links going to them. So you can see on the www version, we've got 106 referring domains, and we've also got 106 referring domains going to the non-www version. So for this site, it doesn't really matter, but I know that the www version is the one that's indexed right now, so I'm going to be using this one. You generally want to be looking at and analyzing the version that has more links going to it, but that's not always the case. You want to make sure you're looking at the one that's actually indexed. Some of them might have a very different number of links going to them. For example, the www might have 106 referring domains, and the non-www version might only have something like 10. So it'd be a very easy call to make as far as which one you should be looking at. It's also worth noting that it's good to look at both of them, because even the one that's not actually in use could end up having some spam sent to it, and that will actually affect the site. So you want to make sure that you're looking at the other one for spam, as well as just other links, because the one that is indexed is the one that is primarily seen by Google. Even the other version, if it's got some useful links going to it, they could still benefit you a little bit. We don't think they'll benefit you as much as the version that's actually indexed and in use, but they do seem to benefit you a little bit. So now the first thing that we really look at are the UR and the DR right here. And like we said before, there is no one metric that can really tell you everything you need to know about the site, but we do think that Ahrefs metrics tend to be a little bit better than some of the other linking tools. But still, even then, you got to take these things with a grain of salt. So first we have UR. UR is the URL rating, and that basically tells you the power of the page that you're currently looking at. So we have right now typed in the home page up here at the top. So the UR is actually telling us the power of the home page. And next we have the DR, which is the domain rating. And you can kind of think of it as the authority of the entire site. So you'll see that this site has a UR of 31 and a DR of 22. These aren't exactly the highest metrics, but the site is ranking well. So, you don't necessarily need the highest metrics right here to be ranking well. Next up, we have the backlinks and the referring domains. So referring domains are the amount of websites that are linking to your site, and backlinks are the number of individual backlinks coming to your site. So you could have one referring domain sending 1,000 backlinks to you. And because of that, we generally like to put a little bit of more emphasis on the referring domains. As a website sends more and more links to you, they're not valued the same as that first initial link, but the number of backlinks is still important as well. So you'll see that this site has 106 referring domains. You might think that's low, you might think that's high. You can't really judge a book by its cover. You can't just look at the number of referring domains or the number of backlinks and say, oh my God, this site's got over 2,000 backlinks. I can't ever compete with them. But it looks like right here, they only have 106 referring domains, and we don't know the quality of these links. The number of links and the number of referring domains that it's going to take to rank your site could vary very greatly depending on your competition and the quality of your links. So a site that only has 20 referring domains could easily outrank a site that has 106 referring domains if their links were of a higher quality. And by higher quality, I mean that they are more relevant, they have more authority, or they have more power. So you'll notice here we have three values. We have 106 live referring domains, we have 116 recent, and 297 historical. Now, usually live is the number that we look at the most. It looks like they've lost some links recently, and historically they had almost 300 referring domains, and now they only have 100, so it looks like they've lost quite a lot of referring domains over time. And that's completely natural. Just as a site is always getting new links, they are constantly losing links as well. We do think that the live number is probably the most important number, but it also does seem to be that when a site loses links, it doesn't necessarily lose all of the power from those links. It seems like some of the power, some of the relevance, some of the authority from those links seems to linger around a little bit and not really vanish completely. But of course, having the live referring domains or live backlinks will be of more benefit to you. Moving on, we have the organic keywords and the organic traffic. This is a very good indicator right here of the site's overall health, although these numbers aren't terribly accurate. Many times, both of these numbers seem to be very conservative estimates, meaning that the site generally will rank for more keywords and be getting more traffic than what's listed right here. One thing I like to look at right here at the beginning of the site analysis is to compare the amount of traffic and the keywords that the site has to the amount of links that a site has. So if you see that a site has 400 backlinks and almost no traffic, that's not something that we like to see. There's some kind of problem if a site has over 400 referring domains and almost no traffic. Maybe they're over optimized, maybe they have a penalty. It's something you'd have to look into a little bit more, but that's not something you ever want to see. And then we have the traffic value right here, and this is not a terribly useful metric to us. We don't really pay much attention to it. Other people might, but we don't. Next, you'll see these three tabs right here: Backlink Profile, Organic Search, and Paid Search. We're looking at the first tab, which is Backlink Profile, and we are looking at these two graphs right here, which are the referring domains graph and the referring pages graph. And these two graphs give you an idea of the link building or just the natural links that a site has been accumulating over time. So when you see big jumps like this, it could be from something like a marketing push. Maybe they were getting a lot more press right here, or maybe their SEO was building them a large amount of links during these times, and then he kind of chilled out for a bit right here, and then boom, he built some more, and then chilled out for a bit, and then boom, built some more. So yeah, what this shows you is just what's been done to the site as far as link building goes. And really all we're looking for right here is just something that doesn't look too crazy. So if you see a bunch of spikes, like big spikes where they're getting lots of domains and they're losing domains, the site could possibly have been spammed, or it could have just been a viral marketing push, or their SEO maybe doing a little more links than he should at that time. But spikes don't always mean bad. You really have to look at everything else together. But we like to see something kind of like this. This looks pretty steady. It doesn't look too crazy, and it looks pretty natural. And then on the right side of the page, we have the referring domains breakdown and the backlinks breakdown, and it breaks it down by the TLDs, .gov, .edu, .com, .net, .org, and it breaks it down as far as do follow, no follow. And again, right here, we're just looking for naturalness. So if a site has, 99% do follow links, that isn't exactly natural. All sites have some no follow links. If they have all image links, of course, that's going to look pretty spammy. You just want to see a good natural distribution here. And as far as the TLD goes as well, if the site has a ton of .edu links and they're not some kind of education related site, that might be a kind of warning sign. You'll see this site has 75% .coms and some .net and orgs in there as well. So this all looks pretty natural. So now we're going to go back up to the top and click the second tab right here, Organic Search. And now we have the organic traffic and the organic keywords graphs. And these are pretty much the same thing as the organic keywords and organic traffic up here, except it's plotted over time so you can see the history of these two metrics. And these two graphs right here are a very good indicator of the site's overall health. What you want to see here are some upward trends or some steady trends. You don't want to see these large losses of traffic, large losses of keywords. That's going to be a very clear indicator that Google is unhappy with your site. You've probably done something wrong, or you're just being completely dominated by the competition. But more than likely, you've done something wrong and you need to figure out how to get back on track. So you'll see for this site, things look pretty steady here. There's nothing really weird to see about this. This looks like a very natural organic traffic and organic keywords graph over time. But you'll see right here at the end, they actually have a pretty good loss in traffic. I'm not really sure what's going on right there. It looks like it coincides with this March algorithm update, so maybe they actually got hit by something. And now on the right side of the page, you have the country breakdown for their keywords and traffic, as well as their top 10 competitors. Usually I don't really look at these things too much, but the top 10 competitors right here could be pretty useful if you're trying to reverse engineer, just for getting some more ideas or seeing how they're doing things. So now we are finished on the overview page. I don't really look at the paid search very often. And the next thing we go to look at is the anchors over here on the left side. So the anchor page is very important, and this is one of the pages where you can very easily see the tactics that the people who are doing SEO on this site were trying to do. And what we're looking for on this page is naturalness. Naked, branded, and generic anchors. Here we have Laura Dale and Associates. This would be an example of a branded anchor text. Then we have right here, this has website, which is very generic anchor text. And then we have right here www.delaneyfamilylaw.com, and this is an example of naked or URL anchor text. And so this naked, branded, and generic anchor text is very natural. It's the most common, most natural kind of anchor text to see. So we really like to see this kind of anchor text up here at the top. We like to see a large amount of their links having this very natural anchor text like this. Some things that we don't like to see on this page are a bunch of foreign language anchor text, maybe stuff like Viagra, stuff that's obviously spam, as well as too much exact keyword money anchor text. So exact match anchor text would be something like this one. It's a term that they're trying to rank for, and they're using the exact term as their anchor text. So Houston family law lawyer is an exact match term. Looks like they've got about 5% of their do follow links with this, which isn't crazy. But when you go ahead and you add up a bunch of this stuff, which a lot of it looks like money anchors, it does add up to quite a bit. And it looks like we've got a good amount more of URL or naked anchor text down here, some more branded. Overall, this doesn't look too crazy to me. Generally, I do like to see more of the naked branded and generic anchors than they have, but you do see sites that are a lot worse than this one. And oftentimes those sites that have, much worse ratios, that have a lot more money anchor text, they're still ranking quite well. So we're saying we don't like to see too much money anchor text, but you also want to see some money anchor text. So if you've got a new client and you come and you check out their anchors and they've just got a bunch of stuff like this and you don't really see much exact match anchors, then it's like you've just hit the gold pot almost. You know exactly what you're going to be doing for these guys. You're going to hit them with some good links, with some exact match anchors, and you'll probably see some pretty good movement for them pretty quickly. And you also want to be checking to see if they've used their exact match anchors in a smart way. For example, you don't want to see them hitting the same anchor over and over and over and over. You want to make sure that they're varying it up a little bit. For example, if they've got this one, where was that? Here, Houston family law lawyer. Maybe you want to also see family law lawyer Houston, or family law lawyer in Houston, or my favorite family lawyer in Houston. You just want to see lots of variations of the anchor instead of them just hammering the same one. Now on the right side of this page, you'll see these details buttons. So what we can do is we'll go ahead and look at this one, Houston Family Law Lawyer, and hit details. And you can choose referring domains or snippets. I usually look at referring domains, but you'll see you get both of them, so it doesn't matter which one you click. And so what this shows you is all the referring domains that linked to our website with this anchor. So you'll see we've got 3 referring domains here. This one sent 6 links, they sent 2, and the last one sent 2 links as well. And what you can do now is you can click on the backlinks button, and it will show you the exact links. It'll give you some more information about the links that these guys sent over to them. And we'll be talking about all this stuff more later. What it's pretty much showing us right now is the same information that we get on the backlinks page, but on this page it's just grouped by the links that have these exact anchor texts. Another thing that's good to do using this details section of the anchor page is to go in and look at the referring domains, look at the snippets, maybe actually go and load the links up and click through to the links and see exactly how these sites are linking to them. You know, are they getting a bunch of exact match anchors from the footer of a website? Are they getting a bunch of stuff that looks really spammy and unnatural? So it's good to see you know exactly how they are using this anchor text to link to your page. All right, so next up we're going to go ahead and check out the backlinks page. And the backlinks page is very important. This is probably where I spend the most of my time really looking at a site, besides the anchors page. And I mean, this is really where the rubber meets the road. This is where you can really get in and look at a site's links and really analyze the quality of their links. But before we get into it, let's talk about the layout first a little bit. It comes checked up here, 1 link per domain. I go ahead and leave it like that. Some people like to check do follow right here for the link type, so it will only show you do follow links. Like you can see this link right here with a line through the anchor text. This means it's a no follow link. This one as well is a no follow. I just like to leave it on like this, but you can switch it to do follow if you'd like. And that's all I really play around with up here. So the information that this page shows you is the page that's being linked to. So this is their home page. Then they show you the anchor text. The blue right here is the anchor text. Then they show you the context, which are the words that are immediately around the link. And then you can see the title of the page that's linking to you. You can see the domain of the page that's linking to you, and the inner page URL of the domain that's linking to you. So what we're doing here is we're looking at their links and we're looking at the quality of their links. And what I mean by quality is we like to refer to it as the Holy Trinity, and that is the authority, the power, and the relevance of the links. We've explained this more in depth in other places, so I'm not going to get too into it now. But basically, it comes automatically with the links sorted by UR, which is the URL rating, which, like we said before, is kind of like the page's power. So we're seeing right here is a UR of 23 for this page that is linking to you. And you can see that this page has 27 referring domains. So if you're looking at the power of their links, you'd keep it sorted by UR and just scroll down. You can see that the site doesn't really have any links that are super powerful, but you know, it's pretty normal, it's pretty natural. The next thing that you could look at is the authority of the links that the site has. And to do that, you'd be looking at this DR column. And if you wanted to, you could sort it by the DR. I normally just leave it sorted by the UR. But to look at the authority of the links, you could sort it by DR. And the third thing that we're looking for as far as the quality of the links is the relevance of the links. So basically what we're looking for is we're looking for the keywords that they're trying to rank for, and we're looking for them in the anchor text, in the context, in the page title, in the domains that are linking to them, and the inner page URLs that are linking to them. And to do that very quickly, you can just scan through and look with your eyes, or you can hit Command F on a Mac or Control F on Windows and type something like lawyer. So now you can see over here, they've got a bunch of pages and domains and URLs that are linking to them with lawyer in it. So they are pretty relevant for lawyer. So if they were trying to rank for family lawyer and you notice that there wasn't really much family at all on this page, that's a pretty clear indication that their links are not very relevant for family, and that could be a very easy thing that you need to start fixing. Another thing you want to be checking out on this page is link diversity. And what I mean by that is that they don't have a bunch of links that are all the exact same kind of link. You don't want to see just a bunch of directories. You don't want to see a bunch of only guest posts. You don't want to see a bunch of just, homepage links from PBNs. You want to see a good, healthy mix of different kinds of links. And just like on the anchor page, on the backlink page, we are also looking for spammy or, foreign stuff. So if you see a bunch of stuff over here that just doesn't look real, it's a very clear indication that they've got a good amount of, spammy links. And just because it's got some spam is not necessarily a bad thing. You don't necessarily need to start disavowing right away unless your rankings are just really starting to plummet. Then it might be something you want to look into. Another thing that we like to use this page for is stealing links. So you can look up your competitors, maybe pull up your top 3 or top 5 or top 10, however many you want. Competitors, come and look at their links and click through to these sites and see which of these sites you can actually get your own links on as well. So next we have the organic keywords page. You just click it over here on the left and you can see all of the keywords that Ahrefs has recognized they are ranking for. Over here, here's the keyword, and here is the position or the rank of the keyword. And that we've got the export button over here, which is really useful if you want to download a list of all this website's keywords with all this information in a spreadsheet. So yeah, just like everything else when we're looking at keywords or traffic, this site gives us a good idea of the health of the site and basically for how they're doing for the keywords that they're actually trying to rank for. So the last 2 pages that we really check out, and not even that much, are the top pages and the best by links pages. So on top pages, you can sort it by some different metrics. You can sort it by the top pages according to traffic. So you can see that this page right here gets a traffic of 603, which is 25% of their website traffic. So this is a very important page for the site. And you can sort it by keywords if you wanted to as well. And then the best pages by links, of course, is very self-explanatory. So maybe you come into this page and you notice that one of the pages that's the most important to them just really doesn't have many referring domains going to it. So that could be a pretty easy fix. Yeah, so that's about it for how we analyze sites. These are all the most important things that we do. Of course, from time to time, there might be some other things that you want to check out, but these are the main things that we're really looking at every single time that we get a site that we need to take a look at. So like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. It really helps us out a lot. Or you could go to our website and check out all of our other SEO learning resources as well as SEO products. Good luck. Get out there, start analyzing some sites, start poking around, see what you can come up with and see what kind of strategies you can develop for yourself or your clients.